Julie, so the next question is, so how are you doing things differently this time around for your own personal investing strategy? I think you just touched on that. So the biggest changes I see, now you can correct me, but I'm just going to, from what you've talked about, the biggest things that I see right now is you're not actually using any of your own money. You're trying to do the strategies where even the investor first strategy, typically I think you're using somebody else's money. If you're doing sandwich lease options, you know that's been my bread and butter strategy since day one. I've done just tremendous amount of sandwich lease options.
Yeah.
My first 2 years I did 24 sandwich lease options, one a month for 24 months straight, never needing any cash credit or joint venture partners. So I realize that you're focusing on the no money down strategies, but is there any other big changes? Are you still doing the investing in some buy, rent, and holds? Tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
I still have some buy, rent, and holds. In fact, I'm looking actually at about 6 in Saskatchewan, in Regina. Yeah, because I think there's some. I think there's money there. I could smell it from Kelowna. Absolutely. What I like is making sure that my investors are very secure. So always making sure that they're on title, and making sure that if anything should happen to me, that my investors are left with something substantial, something tangible.
Right.
Because just through the downturn, unfortunately, I lost millions, and we had some investors that lost some money as well, and it was just so difficult. It's hard to admit, but it does happen. Yeah. And that's why I always like to emphasize, make sure you're in a secure position, because it just makes it less risky. And I take my time a lot more than I did. And I'll wait for a better deal. I don't have a problem with that, because there's always another bus.
Yes.
The deal in front of you is not the only deal you're going to get. It may seem like the best deal with the best kitchen, and oh my gosh, it has a basement suite. But you know what? If it's not coming together, there's a reason, and it just means there's another bus.
Yeah. So my philosophy is the deal of the century comes around every week, every month.
Yeah.
So just wait another week or a month and you'll get another deal of the century. Because if you're putting yourself out there, if you're active, if you're being consistent on a persistent basis with your marketing, with your strategies, then you're attracting a lot of leads and opportunities, and those opportunities will come around on a regular basis. You get to pick and choose.
They come around. The more you do it, the more you get out there, the more you talk to people. I had 5 calls at least in the last week on people that need help.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those people in Alberta right now.
Yeah, and Saskatchewan. But there's deals around here. I'm in a hot market. I'm in a hot market, but there's still deals.
Yeah, because people they typically only know, they get in a distressed situation and they're embarrassed. They don't want to it's hard for them to reach out for help, so they'll do it privately by just calling somebody.
Yeah.
And just having a conversation that way, and sort of telling their story as to what happened to them, and how they need to get out of their situation. That happens a lot, especially if the people, because there was a lot of people that were working in the oil up in Fort McMurray that had relocated to the Kelowna area for the fly in, fly out. Mm-hmm. And then they lose their jobs, and now they have no job, they have no income, and they still have properties in that area. It's like that all over Canada. So it doesn't really matter where, what part of the country you live in. There's people in distress situations.
Yep.
So, Julie, one of the biggest myths or misconceptions people have when it comes to real estate investing is they actually need to have money to get into the game. So can you give the viewers 3 ways that they can get started in real estate today for free?
Yes, absolutely. And it all goes back, for me, is whenever you're new at something, the more you practice it, the better at it you're going to get. The better at it you get, the more confident you're going to feel. So the first thing that people can do absolutely for free is just start talking about real estate.
Yeah.
go to my website, look at things, go online, look at real estate investment training videos, and start talking to people about how, instead of saying, you know, when somebody says, hey, how you doing? Instead of saying great, fine, or busy, then start saying words like, great, I'm just starting my real estate investment journey and I've already learned a ton so far this week.
Yeah.
Or, how you doing? Well, life is good. I was just on a webinar with this amazing woman and this really smart guy, and they started talking about real estate, and I think I'm gonna get going doing it. The more you talk about it, the more you're interested in it, the more people know that this is something that you are, you know, doing, then you're going to be the go-to person should circumstances change in their world, or maybe somebody that they know's world.
Right.
Because all things change with time and circumstances. Somebody dies, somebody gives birth, somebody gets divorced, somebody moves, somebody loses their job, somebody gets a job in another province. The more you talk about real estate, and it's absolutely free, the more you're going to be the go-to person. And guess what? Maybe the first person you bring real estate up to might have a situation, and you might say to yourself, I'm not ready. I don't know what to do. Well, I bet you $5 that John would take your phone call and walk you through it. I know I would take your phone call and walk you through it. And who knows, there could be some money to be made, right?
Yeah.
So that's absolutely free. The second way is start looking at property. You can look at 100, you can look at an infinite amount of properties every day and get to know them, get to know what they look like, get to know how many square feet a property has, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, the neighborhoods. Maybe become a specialist in your neighborhood or some kind of or some area of a particular city. You can literally, seriously, look at properties all day long. And you have to keep in mind, when I started looking at properties, this is 2001. There was no internet.
No.
So I had to call people on the phone. I had to go to the town, buy a freaking newspaper, call people. Maybe they'd call me back. Maybe they wouldn't. I'd ask them all these questions. If it sounded like something good, I had to drive an hour and a half or an hour to Edmonton usually, because that's where we're looking. Yeah. And it's not that way anymore. It's absolutely free. And the more you look at properties, the better you're going to be. And again, that gives you confidence. You can virtually be an expert in real estate in a certain area. And it's absolutely free to do that. And the third way is by analyzing the numbers. And you research an area, see how much properties are renting for, see how much they are in value. I mentioned before, I've refinanced 100 doors on my own. I understand mortgages and amortizations and terms and how the numbers work. Get used to analyzing deals, because the more deals you look at, the more likely you may find, in your digging, you may find a really amazing opportunity. Yeah. And again, the better you understand the numbers, the more prepared you're going to be. And all three of those things can totally help you just get started, and it's not going to cost you a dime.
Excellent. Yeah. So when I got started in 2009, I think there were only 2, maybe 3 3 investors using Kijiji at that point in time. So I was the first one to use it on a consistent, persistent basis, and it was before they implemented any rules. I had 20, 25 ads running on Kijiji at any given time, and I was just dominating 2 to 3 pages worth of Kijiji. Not only that, but I had my web stuff as well, my internet, my websites, because I understand the internet search engine optimization. So, back fortunately, I had learned from a previous business about the internet and websites and attracting people. But I can remember there was only a couple people at that point in time in 2009 when I started that was using Kijiji as for doing ads. It's like, wow. Yeah. There's not so much anymore. Wow. We bend any rules with Kijiji, they slap your hands and they ban you for a while, and it's so those 3 tools, Julie, do you have those, you use those for your private clients, or you have something that you could actually maybe give to our guests today?
Yeah, I could totally do that.
Okay.
I'd be happy to do that. Absolutely.
So maybe what we'll do is at the end of the show, you can just drop a link in the comment section. So if anyone that wants to check it out or get more information about that stuff, then they can click on the link and take them to your website where they can get that stuff for free. How's that?
Absolutely. That'd be my pleasure. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Excellent.